Hey everyone. After like months of trying to find content, figuring out like how to film, where to film, I am finally at where I wanted to be, like on the camera. And this is my first video on YouTube, and today we will be talking about how I fixed my sleep schedule. Actually not fixed my sleep schedule, but how I become able to fall asleep like more easily. I'm 24 and I have spent like all my life nearly struggling to fall asleep. After falling asleep, I don't wake up so usually, but falling is a troublesome part for me. I will share my experiences with you and hopefully you will find some help and be able to fall asleep. So let's get started. The thing is, I'm actually so excited. I don't know like what to do. Maybe I should hold the microphone. I don't know. Maybe that's better. Is it? It is, I think. First thing, I think you probably already know that, but no caffeine after 6 p.m. or something. That might depend on you. You can cut it at 4 also, or maybe 8. But here's a scientific fact. I didn't check it, but it is scientific. The half-life of caffeine in your blood is 6 hours. So that means you should stop consuming caffeine at least before 6 hours that you're about to sleep. And like the half-life means half of it. The other half still might be too much for you. So maybe we are even talking about 12 hours. Half-life isn't working like that. I mean, if the first half is leaving your body in 6 hours, that means the other half is leaving more than that. Like it's not half, it's not 12 hours complete. And as I remember from my pharmacology classes, the second half is leaving way late than that. So if you think the problem is the caffeine, you should be stop consuming coffee maybe at 10 a.m. or something. I don't know. My second tip will be about your muscles. This is actually not a tip, but it can be a strong cause that why you cannot fall asleep. Your muscles might be too tense, maybe because of cold, maybe because of, I don't know, working out, maybe stress, that can be a reason too. But if your muscles are too tense, you will not be able to fall asleep, and it will not be about your like melatonin levels or I don't know, the darkness of the room or something like that. In that video I'm trying to give you the like side reasons that you might not be aware, so you can fix them, or even if you cannot fix, at least you can troubleshoot them. For example, if you can't fall asleep because of muscle tenseness, then that means you should be taking some pills to relax them. And like not melatonin or not sleeping pills, they won't work probably. You can take hot showers, have some massage, and take pills also to relax them. But of course, at the end, you need to find the reason behind of that tenseness. It's usually the stress, but also problems about jaw and joints of the jaw can create that muscle tenseness. For example, if you have just done something to your teeth, maybe that can be an orthodontic treatment or prosthetic treatment, and if they moved your mandible, the muscle memory will try to take the mandible back, but can't because of the new restorations in your new teeth and new locations. They will always try to pull back and can't, pull back and can't, so your muscles will be so sore, like in the middle of an orthodontic treatment or right after you get a new restoration on your teeth. But probably this is not the reason for most of you. I just said that to give you an example. There can be many reasons behind it, so find it and solve it. Let's come to the third reason. Maybe you are built like that, and you wake up so easily when you're trying to fall asleep because of the little sounds and everything. Maybe you're a little bit even obsessive about that. And I think at that point there's no shame on using earplugs. You can use the sponge earplugs. A lot of people around the world, and especially people in Europe or America, are using them. But when I come to Middle East or more east part of the world, people don't want to use them. for some reason. I don't know. They're not so common. So even if they're not so common in your country or in your city or in your family, you can use them because it literally have changed my life. I have been using them for like 6 years now or maybe more, and I'm sleeping like that. And they're not addictive. Like when I say that to my friends, like just use earplugs or something, they're always like, oh no, I can't use it every day. So like what if I travel or something? I am traveling and I'm just taking some earplugs with me. So it's that easy. Definitely start using earplugs if you're too sensitive to noise. My fourth tip would be to spend some energy. If you're sitting in your house all day as a young person, it might be a case that you have so much energy still inside going on. Maybe you don't even need to rest. I mean, maybe your body doesn't need any rest, so you can't fall asleep. So if possible, my recommendation would be like doing some sports, going to the gym, I don't know, maybe just even walking, but like spend a little bit energy throughout the day. Next tip will be a little bit psychological. If you have things to do still for the next day or maybe in your life but didn't do it, it's harder to fall asleep because you, even though you are not thinking about them, it creates a I don't know, some burden on your back, and it's harder to fall asleep when you have things to do. And also, if you are a little bit passive in your life, if you can't raise your voice for yourself on the daily life, if you be silent at the moment of disrespect or something, you will think about it later. It's not just disappearing, or you are not solving anything by not saying anything. Raise your voice if you need. I mean, like, raise your voice, I don't mean just argue with them, but what I mean is standing for yourself. Because, like, as a 24-year-old, I can just give answers to people, but when I was younger, I was just staying silent, or maybe even, I don't know, invisible or something. I was more passive than that, I guess. But after graduating and like working and things like that, after becoming an adult, I started to give answers and, I don't know, even argue if I need, because I will not take that case with me to the bed. So I will just give you an answer, and I don't know, if you're disrespecting me, maybe even I can disrespect you too, but I will go to bed and sleep like a baby at night. It's not just about the people that we don't know. It's also about the relationships. If you're always staying silent about some topics, it will start to become a burden at some point. So be careful about that and always speak things out. If you have problems, for example, share them. I know sharing is not always the solution, but we are not always trying to find a solution. We are just trying to share. So that's that's the whole point. Like, try to share them with your friends. If you don't have friends, I don't know, speak to ChatGPT. I think there's no shame on that too. I think there's no shame in anything in general, but talking about ChatGPT specifically, I think it can be your friend or something. I don't think that it's so bad, because like it's remembering everything about you. It collects your data and steals your data, so knows so many things about you, and also knows so many things about the world. The only thing that I think ChatGPT is lacking is the streets. It doesn't know anything about the streets, and also the cultural or political situations of countries or your circle. So it can sometimes say things like, just leave the job, just live your life. But yeah, there are people unemployed here. GPT, I mean, I will not be leaving. So sometimes can give some weird ideas, but overall I think it's good, and it's going even greater. So I think it can be your friend. There's no shame in it. So just share your problems even with ChatGPT. The next tip is stop eating before at least 2 hours from bed. I don't know why. Maybe it's because your body is working with digestion, or maybe because it gives you the energy. It's really hard to fall asleep if you are eating right before the bed. At the short term, it can give you some, blood sugar spike and make you more sleepy, but like after half an hour or just 1 hour, 2 hour, it makes you more awake, and maybe it can make you lazy or feel heavy, but you will not be able to fall asleep. And I think this is the worst scenario that people can face. And so yeah, don't eat before the bed. Stop eating. Even if you are going to eat, just eat something like a yogurt or something. Don't eat a whole KFC menu, I mean. And I think, like, for me, it was life-changing. My most important tip. It's also, again, psychological. Don't have anxiety about sleeping. If you have it and don't realize it, please first try to address it. Like, first try to realize it. For example, at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and when you're still awake, when you're still trying to fall asleep but can't, are you thinking like, oh my god, I have an exam tomorrow, I have to go to school, I have to go to work, oh my god, the work tomorrow will be so bad or something? Are you thinking things like that in your head? Then that means you might have some sort of sleeping anxiety. Of course, I know saying just don't is easy, but let's think it like that. You can go for days without sleep. It's not a big deal. Like, even if you have some sort of exams, of course you might not be at your best, the fittest, the freshest, but you will function. I mean, human brain is not that simple. Like, just you don't have to sleep every night. Sleep deprivation is so bad, I know, but you still can function. And it is possible. You can drink just 4 coffees at the morning and function again. So it's not like a death point or something. Don't make it a big deal in your head. I had that anxiety, especially when I was in high school, because I was a great student and like performing really well, and I was so anxious about my performance going down or being bad. So I always had that anxiety, but after going to the university, of course, we skipped some days. Of course, we didn't join some of the classes. And after that relaxation with the school, I started to have less anxiety about that. But I was having it again, like at the exam weeks or really at the important weeks. But then something else also happened. I went to Erasmus, and I traveled for like days, and I stayed awake for nights and everything, and I have repeated it so much, and at some point I have realized that it's not a thing. Sleeping or not sleeping, like even drinking or even using something, and you can, if you want to do something, you still can function on the next day, no matter what. If you can even function as a hangover person, as a sleepless for 2 days person, you can do it in your bed too. That's what I have realized when I was on Erasmus. I think it really have changed my life and reduced my sleeping anxiety so much. On the next day, you might have a headache, you might be so sleepless, and your mind can be so closed. Again, 4 coffee and 1 painkiller, and maybe Adderall, like some Concerta, and you will be good to go. And this is the human body. You can be tired, you can be so fit, you can be so energetic one day. I don't know, it happens. Just let it go. I'm trying to give you more different perspectives about sleeping anxiety and like being sleepless, so you can maybe use at least one of them to like reduce your anxiety. There's one more for you. If you don't have something like insomnia or some real like sleeping problems, you will be able to sleep at least like after 4 days or 3 days or something. You will sleep. So please stop thinking so much on it. Sleep is so important, we all know that, but not that much. Like, you can just let it go and go with flow. Your body will sleep whenever it needs. Even if it can't, you will be fine. Think it like that and let it go. Let's come to the next tip then. I have mentioned that before, but I will mention it again so quickly. Blackout. The curtains, the windows, the eye bands, I don't know what will you use, but full black really works so good. So don't forget to close everything, and if you can't, don't forget to use an eye band. There are some eye bands which are hollow on the eye sockets, so you can wear them more comfortably if you can't normally wear them, because I couldn't. On the next one, I will give you a breathing exercise. I'm not using it so much right now, but I have used that before, and I think it works. I think it makes you focus more on yourself and not the other thoughts that you're having. So it's like 2 inhale, 2 exhale, 2 inhale again, and 1 exhale. But of course, don't do it so aggressively, but count in yourself. It doesn't have to be so much in order. The point is focusing on your breath, and like, actually this is why it's not 2 2 2 2, because it would be your normal breathing. There's a 1 at some point, because it makes you keep focusing on your breath. So you need to think about your breath. And especially if you try to breathe through your forehead, I don't really know how to explain it, but when you're breathing through your nose, try to send the air, like imagine it like that. Try to send the air in front of your, like that, forehead. Like I don't know if you could understand or could do it, but the thing that we are expecting in here is to have more relaxed forehead and eyebrows. When you try to do that, breathe through your eyebrows, like in the middle of your eyebrows. I think it really relaxes your forehead so much, and try to achieve that. If you can achieve it, combine it with that breathing exercise, and I think it will work. I think that was all the tips that I could give to you. As you could understand, falling asleep, I think it's more psychological, at least for me, because I've tried sleeping pills, and I've tried many things, like, you know, the sleeping hygiene. I tried to change my bed sheets, my bed, and I don't know, I tried to do many things, but it's more psychological for me. And the thing is, you can easily solve the physiological problems like muscle tenseness or sleeping hygiene problems, but you can't solve your psychological problems and your outlook on sleep if you are not aware about them. Some people think that they just can't sleep. As I've told you, I have realized that I am having some sort of anxiety about sleeping actually when I was about 22 or something, and when I was on Erasmus. And in that video, I especially have tried to spot on those psychological things, and also gave you my all real tips. Of course, I know there are many more tips about sleeping. For example, ASMR sounds, white noise, or I don't know, melatonin, the other sleeping pills, ashwagandha people are taking, for example. But I wanted to give you my real tips that I have used and worked for me. And this is actually the end of the video. This was my first video on YouTube. My English sometimes doesn't work so well. I'm sorry about that. And also you can give me some feedbacks about the sound system or the camera. Camera is unfortunately iPhone 11. I'm still using it, sorry. But if you subscribe and like that video and make me like 1 million of subscribers, I can change my phone. I want to make more like chit chat videos and talk about my life and everything on the future. But for the first video, I have tried to record something like that like many times, but I really couldn't because I didn't know what to talk about, and like I had some sort of like tongue tie, you know, I couldn't talk about me and stuff like that. So I think for the first few videos it would be more good to make informational videos, and this is the first one. And yeah, I'm still so excited somehow. Okay, so see you on the next videos. I love you so much. Bye bye.